Now let's move on to number 26. 5 sine pi x is equal to 2. And the domain of our x value is from -2 to 4 radian. Starting with the given equation, that would be 5 sine pi x. 5 sine pi x is equal to 2. And this will give us a form which is equal to x is equal to 1 over pi, and we have arcsine of -1 of 2 over 5. Okay? And this will give us a form, a general form of the solution, which is equal to x equals 1 over pi sine of -1 2 over 5 plus 2 pi n, or we also have pi minus 1 over pi sine or arcsine of 2 over 5 plus 2 pi n. Okay, so these are the general solutions form of this equation. So moving on, we can actually simplify this general form into a lot easier to deal with. So this one could be simplified as we start, of course, with 2 divided by 5, and it's equal to 0.4. Then get the inverse or the arcsine of that. That would be 23 point, but it's in degrees. Okay, I forgot to put it in radians, so let's do it again. 2 divided by 5 is equal to 0.4 inverse arcsine. That would be 0.4115 divided by pi. That would be 0.1309 or 1310, let's say. Okay, so we have the more convenient form, which is 0.130 or 1310, 0.1310 plus 2 pi n. Or we also have x2, it's approximately, that would be minus pi, so that would be 3.0106. Okay, so these are the values that we got, that we obtained. But I'm not confident with x2, so let's do this again. So we have pi minus, yeah, I think we did some mistake in the transmutations here. So this should be pi minus, but before that it should be, this should be divided by the whole thing. Okay, so this should be pi. Okay, so in that case that should be, let's do it like that. Okay, it should be 2 over 5 inverse sine, okay, that would be 0.411 minus pi equals negative 2.73007. Let's take out the negative. That's 2703. 2.7300 plus 2 pi n. So divided by pi, that would be 0.8690. Plus 2 pi n. Okay, this is the correct form of the solution for the second one. Okay. We divided by pi, so we also have divided by pi. Okay, so there we go. We have 2 pi n over pi, or that means only 2n. Okay, we can actually write it into 2n only. Okay, so if our n is equal to 0, then we have x1. If n is equal to 0, then we have a value for x, which is equal to 0.1310. And for this portion, we have x2 is approximately 0.8690. When n is equal to 1, that will give us this one, so 2 times 1 plus 0.1310, so we have an x3. It's approximately 2.1310. And for the alternate solution, that would be 2.8690. When n is equal to 2, then when n is equal to 2, then if we put 2 here, so that would be 4, and those exceed the interval, which is from negative 2 to 4 only. So that means that the solution set here stops here at x4. But taking note again at the given interval, it says that we have to include the negative part, so that means the negative integers could also be taken in here. So for example, this n is negative 1, meaning that it goes backwards, okay? In a certain standard form, if n is equal to negative 1, then it goes like this, okay? It goes the other way around. So let's try that. When n is equal to negative 1, for example, we will have x5 will be approximately negative 2 plus 0.1310. So that would be 2 negative plus 0.1310. That would be negative 1.869. So it's still included. Negative 1.8690. Okay, and if we are going to use this, that would be negative 2 plus 0.8690. So that would give you negative 1.131. So it's still included. And beyond this, or less than this, less than n is equal to negative 1, we cannot anymore include the values. So the solution sets here, the solution set instead comprises of 6 numbers. So 6 values in radians. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. x1 is approximately 0.1310, x2 approximately 0.8690, x3 2.1310, x4 2.8690, and the negative versions negative 1.8690 and negative 1.1310. So these are the solutions or the set of values for x for number 26. For number 27 to 30, A, solve the equation graphically using the intersect feature of your grapher. But we're not going to do it here. We're just going to do letter B, solve the equation algebraically confirming the graphical solution. Okay, we are to solve this equation algebraically. So, okay, let's have a set of boxes, a pair of boxes. Okay. For number 29, we have 4 cosine square x plus 2 sine x is equal to 3. So we'll make it 1 minus sine square of x plus 2 sine x is equal to 3. And we're left with 4 minus 4 sine squared of x plus 2 sine x minus 3 is equal to 0. And multiply both sides by negative, that would give us 4 sine squared of x plus or minus instead 2 sine x minus 1 will be equal to 0. And this is actually a perfect square trinomial. So 2 sine x isn't minus square. I think no, it's a plus b, a minus b feature of in algebra. Or the other way around. If you're not sure of what you're doing, like here, it seems like it's familiar, but actually we could just use the quadratic formula in here. So, in this case, let's use the quadratic formula, and our sine x would be equal to positive negative or negative b instead. Okay, this is our b, this is our a, this is our c. So this will give us negative of negative 2, that's positive 2, plus minus square root of negative 2 square minus 4 times c all over 2a. And so x here, or sine x instead, would be equal to, our a is equal to 4. Okay, so that would be 2 plus or minus square root of 4 plus 16 all over 8. So sine x is equal to 2 plus minus, we have 2 square root of 5 here, all over 4, so that's equal to 1/2, or 1/2 plus or minus 1/2 square root of 5. Okay? So you have two values here. We have, if we take 1/2 plus 1/2 square root of 5, so sine x is equal to 1/2 plus 1/2 square root of 5, or sine x is equal to 1 half minus 1 half square root of 5. So in this case, sine x is equal to square root of 5. So that would be 5 square root divided by 2 equals 1.1180 plus 0.5. So that would be 1.6180. And if we take the other half, that would be 5 square root divided by 2 minus 0.5, that would be negative 0.6180. Okay. And in the recent book, this is actually equal to number 35. And this is from number 33 to 36. We're not going to do this anymore, okay? We're just going to proceed with this part. And okay, I think there is I bypass something here. This should actually be equal to 2 plus 2 square root of 5 over 4. Good thing I saw it. So this should be 2 plus 2 square root of 5. This is over 8. Okay, this is all over 8. So therefore, we should have 1/4 here. And everything will change. Okay, so in this case we have 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4. This is 1 over 4 minus 1 over 4. And this means that I have the calculator with me now, so that would be 5 square root, okay, divided by 4 is equal to plus 0.25. That would be 0.8090. 0.8090. And when we do subtract, so that would be 5 square root divided by 4 minus 0.25, that would be negative 0.0.0.0 negative 0.3090. Okay. So in the next video, I'm going to explain and solve the possible x values for number 35. Okay, so tune in for the next video, which is for this number still. Okay.